Think about the last thing you really wanted. Not a passing craving, but something you worked toward, saved for, maybe even built your days around. The job, the move, the person, the number in the account. Now think honestly about what happened after you finally got it. How long did the happiness actually last? A month? A week? An afternoon? And then, quietly, almost without your noticing, the wanting came back, pointed at something new. We spend most of our lives certain that satisfaction is waiting for us, just past the next thing. We tell ourselves a simple story. Once I have this, I will finally feel complete. And yet, again and again, the finish line moves the moment we reach it. The strange part is not that we fail to get what we want. The strange part is that getting it so rarely delivers what we were promised. So here is the question worth sitting with. Why does getting what you want almost never make you happy? Maybe you have lived a version of this already. You wanted the promotion for 2 years, and the morning after you got it, you sat at the same desk feeling strangely the same. You saved for the house, and a month after moving in, you were already noticing the next thing it lacked. It is easy to assume you simply chose the wrong goal, that the right one is still out there. But what if the pattern is not about the goal at all? What if it is built into the wanting itself? A 19th century philosopher named Arthur Schopenhauer gave one of the bleakest and most useful answers anyone ever has. Underneath all our particular desires, he said, there is one restless engine that never switches off. He called it the will. It is the raw, wordless drive to want, to strive, to reach for more, and it does not care what it is pointed at. Money, love, status, safety. These are just costumes the wanting wears. Strip them away, and what is left is the wanting itself. And here is the uncomfortable hinge of his thinking. To desire something is, by definition, to lack it. Desire is a kind of ache, a felt absence. So as long as you are wanting, you are, in a small way, suffering. You are leaning toward a future that has not arrived. Satisfaction, then, is not a thing you gain. It is only the brief silence when one particular ache stops. And that silence almost never lasts, because the will is already loading the next desire into the chamber. Schopenhauer pictured human life as a pendulum, swinging between two poles. On one side is the pain of wanting, the tension of not yet having. On the other side is the boredom of having, the flatness that creeps in once the prize is yours and the chase is over. Get what you want, and the wanting stops, yes. But so does the meaning the wanting gave your days. The emptiness you feel after a long-awaited success is not a malfunction. It is the pendulum reaching the far side of its swing. We talk a lot about the pain of not having. We almost never talk about the second pole, the boredom of having, even though it quietly runs much of our lives. Boredom is the will with nothing to push against. It is why people who get everything they chased so often go looking for a new mountain, a new crisis, a new hunger, just to feel the tension again. The chase was never only a means to the prize. It was also the thing holding the emptiness at bay. Modern psychology found the same shape and gave it a colder name. The hedonic treadmill. We adapt to almost everything. A raise, a new home, even great fortune lifts us for a while, and then our sense of normal quietly rises to meet it, and we are back at the baseline we started from, scanning the horizon for the next climb. The treadmill speeds up to match us. We run harder, and we stay in exactly the same place. Now, it would be easy to hear all this and conclude that nothing matters, that desire is a trap, and the only escape is to stop wanting anything at all. But I think that is the wrong lesson, and a cruel one. The problem was never that you wanted. Wanting is what it feels like to be alive and pointed at the world. The problem is where we have been told to look for the payoff. We were taught that happiness lives in the object, in the having, so we keep arriving and keep being surprised that the place we arrived at is empty. We are looking for water in the one place it was never kept. So consider a different possibility. What if the satisfaction was never going to be in the getting, because it was always in the relationship to the wanting itself? The pursuit, when it is yours and freely chosen, is not the price you pay before the good part. Often, it is the good part. The musician is not happy because the song is finished. The happiness was in the playing. The traveler is not changed by the photo at the summit. They were changed on the way up. When you stop treating the journey as a toll booth and start treating it as the destination, the whole equation quietly inverts. There is a second shift, harder than the first. It is learning to notice the silence when it comes instead of immediately filling it. After you get the thing, before the will reloads, there is a small clearing. A moment that is, briefly, enough. Most of us sprint straight through it toward the next want and never feel it at all. To pause there, to let something be enough even for an afternoon, is a skill, and almost no one is taught it. The aim is not to kill desire. It is to stop outsourcing your peace to a future that keeps moving. None of this makes the wanting go away. You will still chase things. You will still, sometimes, get them and feel the strange flatness on the far side of the swing. But you can stop being ambushed by it. You can know, going in, that the prize was never going to complete you and feel a kind of freedom in that, rather than a loss. The point of seeing the pendulum is not to stop it from swinging. It is to stop mistaking the swing for a problem with you. So the next time you finally get the thing you have been reaching for and the quiet disappointment arrives on schedule, try to meet it differently. Not as proof that you chose wrong, but as the oldest pattern in being human, finally made visible. If this gave you something to sit with, that is what this channel is for. Small shifts in how you see your own life. I will see you in the next one.